Good morning, everyone. We'll wait. All right. Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with our requests for cancellation of taxes meeting. Today's date is July 9, 2025. The time is 11:01 a.m. In attendance are Commissioners Eberline, Duncan, and Matari. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Are there any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Introductions. From the Assessor's Office, we have Dyson Savage and Scott Larson. From the Board of County Commissioners Office, Terry Johnston. And it doesn't look like we're having any participants attending. So no swearing in. Public comment. Hearing none. We'll move on to our first item. It's a valuation adjustment for AIN 347212, the state of Idaho.
Good morning, Commissioners. So items 1 through 8 are the results of us continuing to expand our audit for exempt entities that were given taxable value. So this is a larger effort to go back in time. So some of these are going back, the cancellation doesn't go back to 2017, but some of these properties were made taxable in 2017. We just didn't know about them. So right now we're looking for permutations in name and owner name. So some of these were recorded as of Post Falls City, City of Post Falls, some variation of that. So this is just a continuation of our effort to clean these up as time goes on. We're also reaching out to the municipalities and trying to confirm with them, hey, if you buy a parcel, please let us specifically know. We try and catch these things as much as we can as the transfers come in, but it's very helpful if you guys can let us know, or if you get a tax bill, let us know and we'll work to correct that. So this is kind of a historical cleanup for these 8 parcels.
Should we do all 8 at once? You want to do a single motion for that? Okay. Any questions? Take a motion.
I move that we approve the cancellation of taxes and valuation adjustment for items 1 through 8.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Todd?
Aye. Okay, next up is item 9. It's a valuation adjustment for AIN 349795, and it's Viking Construction.
So as the commissioners can see in front of them, this is a very large cancellation, almost $27 million. I did ask the clerk to attend, not the clerk, but Juliana to attend to speak to the tax ramifications. This won't have drastic ramifications for the underlying taxing authorities, even though it is a large cancellation. I did ask her to come speak to that. Unfortunately, she's not here. What I can speak to is why this happened and what we're doing to consistently improve this process. So as the board is aware, we did have another large cancellation, kind of in a similar vein with large land value a couple of years ago. And so we made a report that was percent of change to work to correct that if there's large swings in value. The problem with this is a mapping packet. And so the appraiser gets the final say of the new value for a new parcel. So there's no record to compare to get a percent of change. So recognizing that, and this was last year. So in this year, we implemented something called an ultra high value audit, where we basically went through any property worth more than $10 million in the entire county. We singled those out, we pulled them out in a specific report, and that's reviewed by bailiff, myself, and the managers before all of that goes on the final roll to not have these large cancellations or large swings in value. So anything over $10 million is subject to multiple rounds of review now, and as we continue to iterate the process and find these mistakes when they happen, we are trying to continuously improve. We just have to do the best with what we can. This was a new person who was working the mapping packet, and they kept the land rate of the apartment on 60 acres, which drastically inflated the value for those 60 acres. It took us a while to correct because it did spark a larger conversation about the study of land as development and what that land is actually worth. And we're finding it very difficult to get sales between commercial entities and developers of that size. That's public information that we can kind of glean. Most of that happens and isn't published, so we're kind of working in the dark, and the final value we came up with was what we could justify with our land models and the information that we have.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the valuation adjustment tax cancellation for AIN 349795 Viking Construction.
Second.
Commissioner Evans? Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Potts?
Aye. Motion is approved. Next up, item 10. This is a mapping adjustment for AIN 345823, and it's Loos.
Yes, this is to reflect that this parcel owner has already paid the 1 acre increased value for having 1 acre out. The rest of this, when it was mapped, should have just been put on remaining acres, and it wasn't. It was given its own site value, even though it was already reflected. So we just want to go back and correct that for this person. It's about $150,000 going back to 2022, year over year.
But that's not the tax implications, it's
No,
just the
value.
value.
Valuation.
Okay. If no questions, I'll take a motion.
I move that we approve the mapping adjustment for AAN 345823 Loos.
Second.
Commissioner Evans? Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Potts?
Aye. Motion carries. Next up, item 11. This is property uninhabitable. AIN 123884 Logan, and this is for 2024. We also have another
Item 12.
property for Logan. Is that next to it, or?
Very
Similar?
It's similar. I think
Then-
everything went up at the same time. So
Then we can do both for AIN 123884, and that's Logan 2025. Same property.
yeah, warrant of distraint was returned as uncollectible. The home had caught fire in April of 2024 and is uninhabitable, and that's for both.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the valuation adjustment cancellation of taxes for AIN 123884 Logan for 2024 and 2025.
Second.
Commissioner Evans? Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Potts?
Aye. Motion carries. Next up is item 13, agricultural exemption adjustment for AIN 334928, and I believe it's Guelker.
Yeah, so we got some proof of grazing income for this individual going back to last year. So we're able to reinstate their grazing status on 4 acres of his property. It results in about $100,000 valuation drop for this individual.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the agricultural exemption adjustment for AIN 334928 Guelker.
Second.
Commissioner Evans? Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Potts?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, public comment. Hearing none. 11:08. Meeting adjourned.